You swat, you shoo, you spray, but those flies still don't go away. Hi, Billy Mays here for Flies Away, the fastest, easiest, and most effective way to make flies go away for good. So stop swatting, stop shooing, and stop spraying, and get the ultimate green invention for your fly prevention.
Live from P&D Studios, it's This Week Live with Rocky Red Panda. This week, the good, the bad, and the Artist of the Week, Brit Roth. Musical performance by Battlefield Bagpiper. And here's your host, Rocky Red Panda. Hey there, folks. It is time for This Week Live, and I am your host, Rocky Red Panda. It is October the 11th, 2020. Boy, time has flew. I keep saying it every episode, like time is flying out the door, and we're all going to eventually die of existence. Of course we will, but not depressing talk. Let's jump into the good, the bad, and the That's where I take this week's news, we break it down, and poke some fun at it, shall we? So, we're going to put politics on the table. Because remember where I said I wouldn't talk about politics on my show? Too bad. We're going to be talking about politics on my show. So, politics are now on the table. All's fair game now. So, this week's topics: COVID-19 update and the vice presidential debates. So, let's talk about COVID-19 updates. The good: progress, vaccine. Anthony Fauci announced a few weeks ago that there's possibly a vaccine on its way. Maybe here by November, December, or even January. That's fantastic. Now, however, President Donald Trump, if he had his way, we will have the vaccine by November, so all the people can be healthy. Vote for me. I am Trump. Right. Speaking of Trump and COVID-19, remember last week's episode? The bad, we're going to talk about Trump. He was in the hospital. He had COVID-19. Well, a lot's happened since then. This could be a lovely book or novel for all that's happened since he was in the hospital. So let's talk about it, because this happened while he was staying in the hospital. Check it out. That's right, folks. Trump had a little joyride in his car to go visit his many constituents and fans. Wow. The doctor called his stunt medically unnecessary. You're going to put other people at risk, Mr. President. People in the car that were with you are now going to have to self-quarantine for 14 days. And of course, now if they get COVID-19, I can just imagine Trump just shrugging it off, saying, I never had COVID-19. It's a hoax. It's fake news. And if you got COVID, it wasn't from me. You got it from those Asians. The Kung Flu virus. That's believable, just like me being Abraham Lincoln. Is it believable? I don't think so. But once he was released from the hospital, this happened. That's right. He symbolically rips his mask off his face and chucks it into his pocket. Okay, Karen, rip a mask off to prove a point. Well, Point taken. My mask helps protect you, and your mask helps protect me. I gotta say that right. Well, shall we look at the numbers for the White House, folks? As of right now, the number of cases in the White House for COVID-19 are now up to 34. 34. Even Mitch McConnell says, I'm staying away. I don't believe it because you're a crazy old white guy. Just go. Get out. Disappear. Yeah. But out of all of this, his doctor yesterday told Trump that he's a green light, he's okay to go. But let's talk about what happened here.
Well, I didn't even want to use them. Last time I had a big problem. They oscillated my mics when I had the one debate. We had 3 debates with Hillary, and on I think the first debate, excuse me. On the first, I will say this: absentee is okay because absentee ballots. Excuse me.
Sorry about that. I had a little Trump in my throat. Well, he was on Sean Hannity the other night, and of course, he was coughing up a storm, clearing his throat, and the doctor okayed him. That's not okay. He still has COVID. And of course, he's going out, and he's going to public events. Well, I'm not going to a public event where he's going to be at because I'm not going to catch COVID. I don't want to catch it. Keep it away. Keep it away. Far away. No. Ah! But yeah. He's putting a lot of people at risk, and he's our president. I mean, that's insane. That's insane. The wonderful world of Trump. What is he going to do next? We'll find out next week, shall we? But moving on to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is now the new epicenter for COVID-19. That's right. They reported, as of last week, 150,000 new cases. Let's go back and let's venture into history, shall you?
Breaking news overnight. Wisconsin's Supreme Court struck down the state's stay-at-home order, which immediately cleared the way for businesses, bars, and restaurants to reopen.
Remember this? Gee, I wonder why you have the high number rates of COVID in your state. The Supreme Court, a while back in your state, voted down the governor's stay-at-home orders and all of these COVID orders that the governor put into place. So immediately the day after, as you saw in the video, people ran out to bars. They're not social distancing. They're drinking, and there are no masks. That's why you have 150,000 new cases. And it's not because your cheese is bad. It's gone stinky cheese. No, because your cheese is good. It's not about the cheese. It's about the fact you need to wear a mask. And if you wear a mask, we won't be able to smell cheese breath. Wow, I just went there. But seriously, Wisconsin cheese is good. And it's just not Wisconsin. There's a few other states that are also having raise of COVID numbers. But what can we do? What can we do to prevent this, folks? Keep in mind, your mask helps protect me, and my mask helps protect you. Listen to the CDC guidelines. Social distance. Play your part. This is no joke with COVID-19. We see people dying daily. The numbers of the death rates have gone down. But think of a game I used to play on my mobile phone. The infection rate will skyrocket. And then before you know it, it's going to evolve and start to kill people off. We don't want that. That's not good. That's not good. So let's all do our part. Because let's talk about public transportation. The White House turned down CDC guidelines which will require people to wear masks on public transportation. Trains, planes, buses, you name it. Well, the good thing about this, there is a bright side to this, because those public transportations like Delta, they're all private entities and companies, and they can restrict their own orders of what to do. So if Delta says you all have to wear a mask when you ride our plane, or Southwest says you all have to wear a mask and social distance, then you have to wear a mask and you have to social distance while riding their plane. And of course, you're going to get those Karens that are going to say, I'm not wearing a mask. I don't have to listen to the man. It's my right to not wear a mask. You can't tell me what I can do or do not with my body. Just wear a mask, social distance, play your part, and things will be fine. So, why did the chicken cross the road? Because the chicken behind it didn't know how to socially distance. That's right, folks. But moving on, we got to talk about the vice presidential debates. The good. Good, clean, fun. The bad. Everything. Note, I did have Pence written down here, but everything about this. This is so. Let's start with the fly in the room. The number one talk the day after the presidential debates was the fly that landed on Mike Pence's head. I think we got a video of it. Let's take a look.
To the men and women who serve in law enforcement, and I want everyone to know who puts on the uniform of law enforcement every day, that President Trump and I stand with
Oops. Yes, so the fly landed on his head, and it stayed there for at least 2 minutes before anyone ever noticed. And of course, the first piece of art to come out after the presidential debates was a piece of work looked like Lord of the Flies, and had Pence in the background of flies flying everywhere over the White House. But a whole 2 minutes. That was the number one talked topic of the following day. It wasn't about what they discussed. It was all about that fly. But to start off with the debates, of course, Vice President Pence said this. I quote, "I am pro-life. I don't apologize for it." We can just leave it there and let you come to your own conclusions. Because what I mentioned earlier, women's right to choose. Yeah, we'll just leave it to your own conclusions. But we're going to talk about some of the things they discussed, especially about the nomination of Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court. They had this to say.
Let the American people fill that seat in the White House, and then we'll fill that seat on the United States Supreme Court. And to your point, Susan, the issues before us couldn't be more serious. There's the issue of choice, and I will always fight for a woman's right to make a decision about her own body. It should be her decision and not that of Donald Trump and the Vice President, Michael Pence.
They are going to pack the Supreme Court if they somehow win this election. Men and women, I got to tell you, people across this country, if you cherish our Supreme Court, if you cherish the separation of powers, you need to reject the Biden-Harris ticket. Come November the 3rd, re-elect President Donald Trump, and we'll stand by that separation of powers in a 9-seat Supreme Court.
So, if Amy Coney Barrett is nominated to the Supreme Court, this can be a win for the conservatives, but can be a loss for everyone else. I mean, Kamala Harris, the way she talked is, you have to wait till after the elections, you have to do this, you have to do that. If she gets in, we're going to we're going to do this. And of course, Pence, that's right, Pence interrupts, and he says what he said. But seriously, folks, do your research on Amy Coney Barrett. She's as liberal and she is as conservative as you're going to get. If she is nominated and gets to the Supreme Court, say goodbye to your LGBTQ gay marriage and gay rights. Say goodbye to women's rights, because women will not have the right to choose anymore. Maybe they won't have equal pay. Maybe they won't have equal say. And you can say goodbye to disability rights, disability acts, Roe versus Wade, and a lot of other things. Let's listen to RBG's message and to wait till after the election to nominate him in. But of course, that's not going to happen because I am biased. I take both sides because that she will probably get in beforehand, but that's fine. Because what can you do? Because about this presidential debates, Mike Pence was pretty fly for a white guy. And that has been the good, the bad, and the huh. We'll be back after a brief commercial break. Well, hi there, folks. I'm reading a book called Waterways, now by Kyle Gold. And of course, I'm wearing my rainbow pride shirt. Yesterday was National Coming Out Day. And I want to talk to you, though, about That Sounds Gay. That Sounds Gay is a company out of Colorado that makes lovely pride merchandise for every occasion. Handmade and each individually made. Use offer code Panda and Designs to save 30% off your next order. Check them out. And we're back, folks. And we're going to jump into another one of my favorite segments that people love from the Artist Show. It's called The Artist of the Week. Now, this week's artist is a friend of mine. I met her about 2 years ago at LinkCon. She was a vendor set up next door to me as an artist, and she was creating these amazing, beautiful works of art. Her name is Brit Roth, or B. Roth, if you want to talk about artist terms. Let's take a look at some of her work. Now, this is all created digitally by hand. To victory, the dialects. Exterminate, exterminate. That's right. You got the dialects going on right here. And of course, let's break this down. The color use, itchy, amazing. The subject matter, straight on. She got these printed as free giveaways for a convention this year, but since that never happened, so be it. This art was created in Metabang Paint. Most likely, she did it on an iPad, because she has an iPad Pro, and she also uses Metabang Paint on the Samsung Galaxy Note line of phones. I never tried Metabang Paint, but again, it's for iOS and Android, and it's free, so maybe one of these days I'll check it out. And she also does amazing art. Sketch cards, all hand-drawn. Look at this. That's a self-portrait. Can you see the resemblance? Yes, that's my self-portrait. She did this as a thank you for letting her use a table space, which is amazing. Her colors are great. She just doesn't do furries. She also does Star Wars. She's a huge fan of Star Wars. And her number one favorite character, who would have known? Zuckuss. She takes her little Zuckuss figure wherever she goes. So if you're looking to commission an amazing artist who does amazing talent, and yes, she went to school and she's trained for it, check out Brit Roth or B. Roth, depending on how you want to call her by the artist name. All the information for Brit will be located down below, and she is open for commissions. Keep in mind, make sure you commission some of your fellow artists because they're going through hard times due to COVID. But check out Brit Roth. And that has been the Artist of the Week. We're now going to jump into something new. This is where I would have a little segment, interview guests, musicians, celebrities. But this week, we're going to jump into something called P&D Studio updates. P&D Studio Updates. So P&D Studio Updates is a little segment which I talk about everything P&D Studio and everything that happens around me. So we talk about art, video, and of course my other side company I work with a friend on called Visual Productions. So let's go ahead and let's talk about the art of P&D Studios. Well, as of right now, art's on hold because I had a lot of things going on recently. But secretly, I am still working on a few things. I have started working on a comic series. I have it all written down. I have things in mind. I'm also going to be writing a book. So I have all of that. They're up here. They're up here, and they're also in my black book. So more coming your direction. Check out soon. Videos. As you can see, this week live with Rocky Red Panda. Now, I originally started this channel with just the Artist Show. It has expanded a lot since then. The Artist Show was built upon the premise of helping musicians, artists, and others get their name out. And to get noticed, fame, notoriety, maybe get new subscribers. Well, this week live with Rocky Red Panda comes upon the same idea and the same principles. Commercials. They can advertise on my channel. I'll be having an artist of the week. I'll be promoting them. And of course, I'll have them as guests. Because, hey, that's what I do. And of course, I kept a lot of the good bones that the Artist Show had and brought it over to This Week Live. So it's going to be a fun new experience. And I'm glad you guys are on the journey with me. I started a few weeks ago, as you remember. Think Outside the Bus and East Coast Adventure did return. It's now into episode 3. I have yet to do episode 3. I skipped Friday because, of course, I had to prepare for all of this. And I had some technical difficulties along the way. But, you know, with all new shows, of course, you're going to have some technical difficulties. Let's see what else we got going. So that's it for the videos. But let's move into Visual Productions. That's a company I started with my friend Josue, or we call him Pony. We take photos and videos for weddings and events, you name it. We will do it. This past weekend, which was last weekend, I actually got invited to my friend Jimmy and Courtney's wedding. We actually went there and we did some video for their wedding, and I'm right now still in the process of editing the video for their wedding. We took some photos as well. But to Jimmy and Courtney, I just want to say congratulations. It's been a pleasure. It's an honor to be able to film at your wedding, and I can't wait for you guys to see the finished product. So, Visual Productions. It's going to be an awesome company. I have a drone coming in the future. That's right, we got a drone. Think about it, drones. The possibilities are endless for amazing video footage. So keep that in mind. Check it out. And this has been P&D Studios Update. A few weeks ago, it was actually this summer, I was driving around on the battlefield and I ran into a guy. He was playing bagpipes. I called him the Gettysburg Bagpiper, or the Battlefield Bagpiper for short. He played amazing music. So this week's musical performance is going to be from the Gettysburg Bagpiper, or again, the Battlefield Bagpiper. So let's hear it for the Gettysburg Bagpiper. Now, wasn't he great? That's actually one of my favorite songs amongst Scotland the Brave and a few other bagpiping songs. I just love the bagpipe. Then again, I'm part Scottish, so of course I'm gonna love the bagpipe. But yes, let's give a round of applause for the Gettysburg Bagpiper. How about that, folks? And I wish to thank the artist of this week, Brit Roth, and of course the Gettysburg Bagpiper, and all of you out there that have been with me throughout my ups and downs, and with P&D Studios along the way, been to my conventions, bought my art. You guys are amazing. And I hope to see you again next week. Till next time, folks, peace out. Oh, you're still here. I didn't know you were still watching. You know you can like and subscribe. Like and subscribe for more awesome videos. And yes, this is a Red Panda. Isn't Red Pandas amazing? Amazing? That was horrible English. Aren't they amazing? Well, whatever they are. They're just cute.